Hello and welcome back to League Racing. It has been a long time since we've done a League Racing video, but we're here for one here with the RRacing League in the lower tier at Motegi, and we're about to start my qualified laps. We come out the victory corner up towards the line. Currently we're P7 because no one's actually set a lap yet, so it's just random my positions. We're hitting the brakes for turn 1, shifting down to third, down to second, down to first gear. We run quite wide, but you want to pick it up for a late apex out the corner, sliding the rear tyre there. You can see the rear tyre not too hot, but it's quite hot as well at the same time. It's above optimal, but it's not orange, it's not destroyed, so we're braking the 100 metre board. Got a little bit hot for turn 3, missed the apex on the inside, sort of missed it on the outside as well, and then at the exit as well, sort of missed it, so I didn't hit any of the apexes through turn 3 and 4. Not a great one as we go down towards turn 5 now, hitting the brakes into this right-hander. We've run pretty wide again, we've missed the apex, but you don't always want to hit the apexes at this track. Sometimes it is almost as fast through the long 130R corner, 4th gear, revving out to 5th. So we get ready for the flip-flop, left-right, down to 2nd gear, down to 1st gear, accelerating through up to 2nd, hitting the rev back down to 1st. Once again, Darius has had a crash there, so we can go out of the S-curve now towards the V corner, hitting the brakes into the V corner. 1st gear once again, firing out the V corner, 2nd gear, 3rd gear, 4th gear, 5th gear. We brake now for the hairpin curve. I always love to make fun of this corner name. It is a weird corner name. As we pick it up for a bit of a late apex, so the caddy there going pretty slow. Desmond Danny getting out of the way, so fair play to him there down the straight as we go down towards the 90-degree corner, one of the hardest corners in the whole game really. Hitting the brakes, brake on the curb a bit because you can get away with brake on the curb if you go in there. 90-degree corner, we miss the apex a little bit, but firing out in 1st gear, 2nd gear, 3rd gear, up to 4th, back down to 3rd, on the brakes a little bit there. Now on the throttle again into turn 13, flicking the bike over the victory corner, down to 1st, back out the last corner, 2nd gear, 3rd gear, as we got towards the line. What is the lap time gonna be? 41, 42, 43, 43.7 there. Currently puts us in P1 because we are the first person to set a lap time. At the end of the session then, that was good enough for 3rd place, but the first two have actually set the same lap time, so Rishi and Desmo Danny set the exact same lap time there, so it could be a pretty good battle between them. We got a few tenths back to Darius in 4th, so we might try and get away with these guys at the front. So we're onto the grid now for the race. You can see everyone lining up. It's quite tense here. The marshal, as he's walking out of the way, we're going to start. Motegi turn 1 can be quite difficult. So the lights are on. We're waiting for the lights to go out. Lights out and away we go off the line. We've had a pretty good start. We've jumped Desmo Danny already as we go towards turn 1, and we're going to go in front of Rishi as well. So we hit the brakes. Rishi goes around the outside. Desmo Danny's gone a bit wide as well, but Rishi's gone too wide. Up into the lead of the race. Almost high-sided there on the exit of turn 1 because that rear tyre so-called KG03's crashed as we go down towards turn 2, hitting the brakes. Oh, the inside goes Rishi, round the outside goes Desmo Danny, so we're being sandwiched here, but we've held it round the outside of Rishi and we've actually kept the position as we go through turn 4 now. A warning for Darius back. I don't know where Darius is. I think he's a couple of positions behind, but we've now got a 3/10 lead over Rishi. So we head down towards turn 5, hitting the brakes. Turn 5 for the first time. Into turn 5 we go. So crash behind. Desmo Danny's down. So Desmo Danny, one of the rivals really. Obviously he had the joint pole position there with Rishi, and he's down already. So it looks like it's going to be a bit scrap between me and Rishi. If you look at the map, we've got a bit of a lead, both of us already. Got a 2/10 lead over Rishi. So go through turn 7, flicking the bike into turn 8. The S curve there. Mystic Pruno takes someone a bit further back as we go towards the V corner. We've got to try and hit the apex if we can. We've got a little bit wide actually. We've gone quite wide, but we're picking it up on the power. So that's one of the best parts about this track really. Kind of suits my style. It's quite start-stop, sort of picking up the bike, firing it out a bit more like GP18. I think that's probably why I had a bit more form here. So out of the hairpin curve then, down the straight towards the 90-degree corner. We're now got a 3/10 lead over Rishi. We are, look at on the map, we are breaking away from the guys behind. In the brakes around 200 metres there into the, I've nearly got the hairpin curve, it's the 90-degree corner. I want to get the corner names right at least. Underneath the Dunlop Bridge, flicking it right, left. Wow, that's 2 mistakes in about 10 seconds. That's not great, is it? Darius overtakes C5. Oh, bit of contact with Rishi though, a bit of a love tap from Rishi. You know, nothing too major there. He gets a warning for it though, bit harsh, but fair enough. We go over the line now, 49.6 on the first lap. Into turn 1, bit of contact there with Rishi once again. And he didn't really hit me on my screen, but you can tell that's obviously what happened. Out of turn 1 we go. Rishi gets another warning. Vasil's now crashes a bit further behind. It's unfortunate for Vasil's there, he's had a crash. Not sure why, but maybe he's had contact with someone, not 100% sure. Obviously it's a bit further back in the field, so I can't see what's happened. As we slide it through turn 4 now, trying to build out that big of a lead to Rishi, because Rishi's all over the back of us. That's what I wanted to do on this lap, was build out a lead. We got 3/10 to Rishi now, hitting the brakes at the 150 metre board into turn 5 for the second time. Firing out of turn 5 underneath the Tissot bridge, coming towards the 130-yard corner, and it's a really fun corner, this one. You want to rev it out, really, and then you just want to shift afterwards, because otherwise you just bog too much if you shift during the corner. We've now got a 4/10, nearly half a second lead, so we are pulling away from Rishi. So we're doing exactly what I wanted to do. I think Rishi might have made a slight error, because it looks like he's even further behind now on the map. So perhaps he's made an error, which is exactly going to play into our favour here. Desmond Daniel out to 10th place, obviously after that crash on the first lap. Firing out of the V corner then towards the hairpin curve. Darius has another warning, so lots of warnings being fired in this race. My first race in the lower tier. I've been racing the upper tier, but I decided to do both races for this weekend. And we've got a 1 second lead ahead of Rishi as we go down towards the 90-degree corner once again. We are pulling away at the front here, just like the old days, really, just like Motegi 18, hitting the front, trying to get a gap early and break everyone behind. It was kind of my tactic, really, unless if I couldn't do that, then I'd sit behind and try and do it a bit later on in the race. But through the victory corner there, sliding the rear end up towards the line. What is the lap time going to be? 41, 42, 43, 44, 145.1. We've got a 1 second lead over Rishi then at the end of that lap. As we cut to the end of the next lap though, Rishi has responded a little bit. We are going to see the gap when we come over the line, see what it is. So we do a 145.1 once again, but now only a 6-10 lead, and Rishi does a 44.9. So Rishi taking a couple of tenths. Oh, almost a high side for me there through turn 2 as we go out of turn 2 now. Desmond Daniel does the fastest lap as well. As we go down the straight, that's going to help Rishi. He's definitely going to go up, and Rishi's down. Rishi's crashed. I think he's done what we did, but I think he's come off the bike by getting on the power, and now he cut all the way to the start of lap 8 before anything interesting happens again. So we do a 146.5, so that is quite far off what we were doing earlier on in the race. This will be pivotal. 5 seconds, 5.5 second lead we've got at the start of lap 8. At this point in the race I was really struggling for pace. You see the tyre is freezing on the rear there to 46.2. So yeah, about 112 degree rear tyre, 3.7 seconds now, and it was Desmond Danny behind catching us up. And he took it, well, in 2 laps, he took over a second out of us. So 46.1 once again, now it's 2.7 as we start the penultimate lap. What about, will he be able to catch us before the end of the race as we go through the final corners of the penultimate lap? You can see on the map him and, I'm not sure who's behind him, I think it might be Darius. Oh, definitely catching, bit of a wheelie out the last corner, it's not going to help my case. As you can see, that rear tyre is still so cold. I was struggling for the lap, so I was 46.1, I was pushing. We got a 1.7 second lead with 1 lap to go, so this could be crucial here. As we go through turn 2, sliding the rear end, I was desperately trying to get some sort of heat into the tyre, because I just couldn't do the lap times with that, that kind of temperature. So hitting the brakes once again as we go into turn 3. We actually hit the apex quite nicely. I think I was braking a little early because obviously I didn't want to throw it away on the last lap, because we've got some pressure coming from behind as well. You don't want to crack and skid in the position. He's got 7 tenths behind us now, or 6 tenths, but it's nearly 7, so we'll say 7. So he's took a second out of us already in this lap. So through underneath the Tissot tunnel, and as you can see, they are both catching us. Both Ducatis behind us catching up so much to us here through 130R. In the braces, I've actually kept the gap pretty stable there, so I think that's probably going to help us a bit. They are running out of sectors. 2 sectors to go, 7 tenths to gain. It's doable, it's very doable considering the rate they've been catching me. But sector 3 was a sector that I was pretty good at, so we will see if he's made any inroads on us. But we are still leading currently. We hit the brakes for the hairpin curve for the final time. It seems like we've got him at bay a little bit, but we don't know. There's a long straight coming up here. Ducati power could really come into this. 7 tenths. I actually extended the gap slightly to Desmond Danny. We've got a sector to go. 7 tenths to gain. It looks more like we're actually able to hold on to the victory, hitting the brakes as we go into the 90-degree corner. We broke a bit conservatively, but you don't want to go straight on there. You can lose a massive amount of time, and 7 tenths is not a lot of time to lose. Well, it's a lot of time to lose, but you know what I mean. Through turn 13, through the victory corner, and we're still leading. At the victory corner we go. It looks like it's going to be a victory on Motegi 19 for the first time in a league race. And we finally win. Look how close Danny was to the back of us there. But wow, we just managed to hold on and win the race ahead of Danny there. See, we won it by a 1/10 of a second ahead of Danny in second, Darius in third. It was a good race. If you want to see the upper tier race, it was also a pretty good race. Do let me know. But yes, we finally got a league race win in MotoGP 19. It's took us long enough. We've got about a month till the new game comes out, and I've finally got a win. But I hope you did enjoy this video. I hope you're all staying safe, and I shall see you in the next one.